David was a man who had a big heart for God. If he knew that something pleased God, listen to this. If he knew that something pleased God, he will go out of the way to do something more for God. You understand? He will probably take 10 steps more ahead to do something more for God. He's a man who had a magnanimous heart, a large heart, a big heart, a generous man, who always wanted to do something more for God. That's the kind of man. That's why God blessed him. You know why God blessed him? That's the reason why God blessed him. If he knew that something displeased God, he would go out of the way to eradicate it completely. And if he knew that something pleased God, he will go out of the way to do over and above. We're just trying to capture the story, the events that revolve around David, becoming the king. I told you the first thing that he did was, one of the things is that he made Jerusalem as his religious capital, and he brought the ark. Now this is what has happened. He brought the ark and placed it in the tent, but he's still thinking, what more should I do for God? So do you remember how he brought the ark? Do you remember the story how he brought the ark? He brought the ark in a new cart, and God was very angry. And then he realized that something was amiss. Something he messed up. He was very angry. First he was very upset because he did it with all good intention. Because he wanted the ark of the Lord to be with him in Jerusalem. Where he is, he wanted God's presence. So he went and brought the ark with him to Jerusalem. He wanted to bring it, and now the oxen stumbled, Uzzah touched it, and God struck him down, and you know the story, and he's now very upset he couldn't bring the ark. So he wanted to find out what has happened. And then he realized that the ark is not supposed to be brought in a cart. The ark has to be carried by the Levites. That's what the Bible says. Very simple. Every time when the ark was carried during the time of Joshua, Moses, it's the Levites who carried the ark. That is all you need to do. God doesn't expect anything more. But you know what he did? He did something more. He let the priest carry the ark, and he disrobed himself of his royal clothing and wore a small garment like a slave, and he danced before the ark of the Lord. That was not required. That was not required. God never said that you need to do that. The Bible very strictly says you got to follow the Mosaic law, and the law says let the priest carry. But he did something more than that. He said, I will be even more undignified. I will humble myself before the God of the heaven and the earth. So he disrobed himself and danced before the ark of the Lord and worshipped. Here is a man who always wanted to do something more for God. More for God.